Hi, and welcome in. I am Anna Carol Porter, the concierge therapist. And those who do not know me, I am a generational curse breaker, a channeler, clinical hypnotherapist, and as well as I do many other therapies such as craniosacral, Reiki, Kundalini Reiki, fascia stretch therapy, and a master Qigong instructor, as well as many other things. I guess you call me a hyphenate. And so, what I do is I tap into the collective energy as a whole. I channel from divine source and bring that through hypnotherapy out into the collective energy, whatever messages I pick up on that they need to hear. And so, with that being said, this is a hypnotherapy channel. Never ever listen to this channel, watch this channel when you're driving or operating heavy machinery. This is hypnotherapy. Again, just be settled back somewhere. You're going to be closing your eyes. You can be, whether, it's office or your living room or your bed. Just sit back, kind of recline back. You can put your feet up and closing your eyes, okay? And so I try to keep these around 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes I go longer, it just is what it is. But yeah, just I try to keep them a little bit shorter so you can just have like a real quick maintenance, okay? Kind of like a little 20-minute power nap or something like that. And so a little bit of house rules here. Everyone is welcome as long as you know how to treat people. I am very inclusive. I don't care what your race, your gender, your pronoun, or what starseed you are, okay? What I do care about is how you show up in the comment section. So if I catch anybody being negative, hateful, like I said, just not acting like you know how to treat people or yourself, then you're out. And I am also a master transmuter, so if you want to send negative energy, evil eye, jealousy, anything like that my way, you want to play stupid games and win stupid prizes, go ahead. I'm going to transmute that into abundance and beautiful things in my life, okay? But you're also going to be kicked out, okay? So now that that is handled, I hope that I got all the housekeeping out of the way. Now let's begin. So on today, January 12th, 2026, as I was writing down the date today, I, like a lot of people in the new year, you accidentally catch yourself still putting the 25 instead of 26. And so that's the energy that I'm picking up on, is that a lot of people, not everybody, is still feeling a little bit stuck, still cleaning up a little bit from 2025, trying to close those chapters or that door or that novel, whatever it is, creating new habits, letting go of old habits. And that's typical energy at the beginning of a new year. And, it's a heightened collective energy when we're moving into a new year, because everybody's got these new goals and everybody's got this excitement. And so you can kind of ride that wave of that collective energy as you're getting into all that new stuff, because it's going to slowly start to, people start to trickle off, right? And settling into, some people just don't make whatever those ascensions are, and that's okay. You make them in the time that's meant for you, divine timing, right? And so don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up if you're kind of going back and forth with it a little bit. Treat yourself like you would treat somebody else. Have some grace with yourself, have some compassion with yourself, knowing that it takes some back and forthing to get to where you want to go. No master got there by not failing a lot, okay? So just be easy with yourself as you're calibrating into that 2026 energy. And so, again, with doing a collective message, I just want to remind everybody that some of the messages may not resonate for you. So just discard those ones and leave the rest. And let's continue. So letting go of bad habits. If you're like, hey, Anna Carol, how do you transmute energy? So here's a good example. As a child, I stemmed by twirling my hair. It was one of my nervous settler, made me feel good, but I had done away with that for a really long time, and a big life something happened in March that made me start doing it again. And I just simply catch myself and say, hey, that negative energy, or that energy that's not serving me, by pulling on my hair, be transmuted into something beautiful and powerful in my life. And that way you catch yourself, you make the awareness, you stop, you transmute it. Okay. All right, so as we're going into this new year, if you are feeling stuck in the mud a little bit, we're going to put on the 4-wheel drive today. We're going to get on out of that energy and just zoom and soar into 2026. And so one of the great ways to do homework past what we do here is journaling. And I know lots and lots of people hate that word, and the word meditation, they find it extremely hard. And I know I was at a place like that one time in my life, and now I have found out that there's no right or wrong way to journal. One of my favorite ways to journal, matter of fact, is to take a word. Let me move my paper here so I can show you. Take a word, put it down the side of the paper. So I'm just going to put like happy, okay? Because we all want to be happy, right? And so, Norma, I did that so fast, my writing. So I just did HAPPY down the piece of paper. And so when I think about happy, something for H that starts with H, for happy. Well, I'm just going to put having fun, having more fun. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong way. A, something for A, activities. I want more activities. P, going to the park more. So put park, so you get what I'm saying. Okay. So, or you can just doodle, or, get an adult coloring book, because that's active meditation. Going for a walk, active meditation. And then there's your, your quiet meditation, just sitting, being quiet, listening, but cutting off the mind from everything else. And so sometimes people have to do active meditation before they can get into the still meditation. Okay. So those will help you. Journaling is great homework, because in this journal, not only when you go into a new year, you could be thinking of like a primary main goal that you want for the year, like the biggest goal that you can think of. And then, write down maybe 2 or 3 sub goals, something smaller, hey, we're working on this big thing, but there's those few little things in the back that I still want to achieve and accomplish. Put them down. Make you a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, whether that's career, love, just working out of an addiction, even, whatever it may be. We work on everything here. Like I said, there's nothing being excluded. I tap into the energy and then we go. Okay. So, yeah, that's what's coming up for today. And that's what we're going to do. And there may be some other little things in there too. I feel like collectively, for a long time, so many have been wanting the world to heal, right? And we can collectively do that together, but it takes individual practice, right? At anything you do. Like, you gotta put on your oxygen mask first, you gotta do you first, and then you can come out and share that with others, right? And so, and everybody's at their own pace. So, always, just remember, stay in your own lane. And excuse me, get a little golden tea here. Okay. So stay in your own lane. Don't compare yourself to others. This is your journey. Like, put your blinders on and just focus on your path is always going to be the best way. Because if you show up and prove to everybody else that you're good, you're solid, you've got yourself, then they know, oh, I don't have to worry about you like I used to. I can just worry about myself and take care of myself. And that just makes it easier on everybody, right? And it really cuts those cords of those sickly codependent relationships that we sometimes build with one another that last forever. But they don't have to, you know? And so the biggest thing is showing up for yourself and knowing who you are and what your authenticity is. And then it just sort of radiates out to everybody around you. And they're like, that tastes good. I like what you're doing over there. I want a little piece of that, okay? And that's how it works. That's how healing works, okay? So if you want to heal the world, heal yourself, then start to let that radiate out, okay? All right. Okay, so now we are ready for the hypnosis part of this session. So I want you, if you can't do the hypnosis right now, because like I said, I never ever want you to be operating heavy machinery, driving, like this is for just settling back and closing your eyes. And I use guided imagery. I'm a certified imagery master, and that's what I use for my hypnosis. And I'm just getting you into this healing, quiet meditation where we're just pulling the subconscious forward. You're not going to be in an REM state. You're just right there before that in kind of this alpha theta state. And that's how we are able to work with the subconscious. It makes up 88% of the brain. So it's the driving force, and those old patterns, that's where they're stuck, okay? And so that's why we're going to work on the subconscious rather than you beating down a door, trying to make changes in your life. I simply give you a key for you to unlock your own door and step through. I'm just a guide, a conduit holding space and allow, just putting the path in front of you to take your journey, okay? And so if you don't like what I do here, this is the time where you can click off, because this is my channel, and if you have a problem with it, that's a you problem, okay? All right. But everybody else that is aligned to this and wants to stay, you're always welcome, okay? Okay. Play this video later if you need to, if you can't do it with me right now. Okay. All right. So when you're ready, just go ahead and settle back. Settling back into whatever is beneath you, holding you and supporting you. And let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths slowly and deeply, and really just feel the body, feeling the belly and the lungs. And then just let that natural rhythm of breathing occur. And so these deep breaths, they signify that it's time to go within. And time to be open and receptive to new ideas and suggestions on how to move forward and make positive changes in your life. And so perhaps your feet are reclined, propped up. And I want you to draw attention to your feet now. And I want you to Imagine, visualize, picture, pretend, or if you can't do those, just have the thought of. The thought of being the biggest, strongest, tallest tree in the world. And you're going to grow beautiful, strong roots from your feet that just reach into a very nutrient-dense, luscious, healthy, cleansing soil. And then from your feet, just bringing that goodness up from the earth, Mother Gaia, whatever you want to say in your mind. And in that soil has everything that's curtailed just for you, just for your body, nobody else's. And so all the things you need, whether it's more sleep and clean energy during the day, better foods, more personal time, more courage or strength, more kindness, more softening. Or perhaps you're someone who needs to harden a little bit. Who knows? You do. Your body knows. Your spirit knows. And so as you're just letting that, with each breath that you take coming up from the soil, in through the feet, your toes, your heels, your arches begin to soften. And then that softening takes place in the ankles. And as we move up through the front of the body, moving it up through your shins, your knees, your thighs, your hips, and your pelvis area. Bringing it up through the belly now and at the abdomen right there at what we call the solar plexus chakra. That self-worth, self-esteem, self-love. I can, I will, I do. And let's just leave it right there for a moment. And with your next breath in, I want you to imagine, visualize, picture, or pretend, or have the thought of the color yellow. The yellow being associated with the solar plexus, and I want you to heighten and brighten that color yellow. And imagine a beautiful circle out in front of you, the image of a circle kind of coming towards you in your mind. And now I want you to imagine taking a paint can of yellow and just paint splash that circle in front of you. And now make that circle larger. Larger and larger and larger, bigger than that tall tree that you are. And now I want you to step through that circle. Step into it, and then let it continue to grow and encompass your whole being. And then for those of you who grew up watching Care Bears, like a Care Bear stare, I want you to push the color yellow from your belly and fill up that circle even more with brightness. But this time that brightness extends, and it extends out into the mind space, inches and feet past the body, into that work field, into that beautiful yellow, protective, bubble-like protector. And any sort of negativity, any kind of sicknesses, anything that comes your way that's not welcome, just simply bounces off. And so now I want you to take all of that energy, of that protection and that brightness, and I want you to push it down into your lower chakras, into the sacral chakra, into the root chakra. And now push it on down even further into the trunk of your tree, down, down, down into the earth. Grounding, grounding even more. Just like those roots. And so now I want you to bring that up. The goodness that's coming from that grounding, that vibration of the earth, that nutrient-dense soil that has everything that you possibly need for your mind, body, and spirit. And I want you to bring it on up some more into the chest, into all those intercostal muscles, and into the shoulders, and see if you can perhaps drop your shoulders a little bit more from your ears, just settling down even more so. And now taking all of that goodness, all of that clean, healing light and energy and nutrients, and sending them on through your arms like the limbs of a tree, out to your hands and fingers like the leaves, and just stretching up into all of that brightness that comes from the sunshine. And the rays of the sun glistening and sparkling all over you. And so from shoulders and upper arms down to elbows, elbows to forearms to wrist, hands and fingers, softening. Releasing and letting go what does not serve you. And so now from the shoulders to the tiny little neck muscles, softening and letting go. And now softening your jaw and your mouth and your ears and your face, all facial muscles releasing. Your nose, your eyes softening, your forehead softening, and now at the crown of your head. And I want you to take another big deep breath with me. And really feel that going up into the nasal cavity, up through the eyes, and send that breath to the crown of your head, and now just send it down the back of your head, down the back of your body. Exhaling. Releasing and letting go. And now softening down the back of the head, the back of the body, at the base of the neck now. And from upper back, mid back to lower back, always strengthening your spine. And with strengthening your spine, strengthening your core. And with strengthening your core, strengthening every fiber and every tissue and every cell of your body. And so all around the shoulder blades, softening and smoothing. And as we reach the lower back, all around the hips, the glutes, your thighs, softening, pushing everything and anything that does not serve you into the earth like the good compost that it is, and continuing to push down. Softening the backs of the knees, your calf muscles, your ankles, and back down to your feet again. And so, shoulders roll back, chest out, chin up. Standing tall, standing firm, standing with the fortitude to move forward. Whatever it may be that's been holding you back. Excessive thinking, destructive habits, fears, doubts, worries, overly concerned, all of this is illusions. Let them go. No longer letting anybody else's opinions, problems, projections that come your way, they're no longer going to stick. They're going to bounce right off of you. And with that being said, let's take it even deeper now at counting backwards from 5 to 0. When I reach 0, you'll enter the hypnotic sleep. And with your permission, let's go at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Deep sleep. Now, in this deeper state of sleep now, know that you are still full in control of your body. You're only listening to my voice. If you have an itch, you may scratch. If you hear a sound on the outside, that's fine. Just try to listen to my voice. And so let's take it even deeper. And so, remembering that people are just people. Everybody has a thought and opinion, and those belong to them. They are not yours. It's always okay to receive advice from those that you look up to, but it's also okay to disagree with those same people and make up your mind for yourself. Knowing who you are, knowing what you believe, knowing what you know. That is your world, your life, your journey, and we stay in our own lane. Sometimes people project things that they've been through onto us, and it begins to make this effect of fear or doubt or worry or second guessing, hesitation, and all of those things can be very negative. And we carry them in our organs in the body. Fears are carried in our kidneys, worry in the spleen, anger in the liver, grief in the lungs. And then when our body and our organs start acting up, it's a signifier of the things that you need to go work on. That's how we know, and that's how we keep that mind, body, spirit connected. And that's how, if you never knew how to be in tune or listen to your body before, and being able to have your body tell you exactly what it needs, that's how you do it. You watch for the things that appear on the skin. You watch for circles under the eyes. You watch for a heart acting up or kidneys acting up. Okay? Now you assess that situation and you go in and you find the root of the problem. We don't put on Band-Aids here. We go for the root issue, because Band-Aids always come off, and those leave scars, and we go for the root issue here. We don't play around with mediocre healing. And so now, gently, lovingly, with the most kindness that you can have, think about your body. What kind of things have you had going on? What kind of habits could perhaps be causing those organs or muscles or mental issues, if any? What are the things that you can change, that you have control over? Perhaps those are some things to write down in a journal. Make a list. Oh, I've been having a foot problem. Well, you can pamper your feet and love your feet and give more attention to your feet. And then you can look up foods that are good for helping with cramps or pain. And you can look up what foods to stay away from. And remember that everything starts in the gut. The gut is like a second brain. That listen to your gut, trust your intuition, all that kind of stuff come from the gut, the third eye, the pineal gland, and your mind. And so everything starts in the gut with healthy, nutrient-dense foods, just like that beautiful soil that we just pulled nutrients up from, like the tree energy that you stepped into. Strong, tall, powerful, transmuting. And so taking care of the root issue, getting through the proper nutrients in a day, and enjoying that. Drinking plenty of water to flush any negative energies that are flowing through you. Water is a huge conduit of our body, and so moving energy through it that you don't want in you, and just move it on through by drinking water and flushing your system, flushing the toxins. And hydrating you, and replenishing you, and rejuvenating you. And so, let's take it a little bit deeper as we begin to move forward on this path, moving forward into that 2026 energy, closing the doors of 2025, getting all the loose ends tied up, calibrating into that energy. And now let's take it deeper at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, deeper and deeper. And so I want you now to let the image of the tree fade into the background for a moment. And now I want you to imagine, picture, pretend, visualize, or have the thought of a truck. A truck that can pull out of any situation. And it can be any style truck you want, any color truck you want, but this truck has four-wheel drive. And if you were perhaps stuck in the mud, even the tiniest little bit, I want you to go ahead when you're ready. Put that truck in four-wheel drive. I want you to crank up your favorite tunes. I want you to put your centers on. And when I reach 0, you're going to put that truck in gear and you're going to hit the gas and you're going to drive in a propelled motion straight on out of there and into your beautiful, bright, exciting, fun, fully abundant future in front of you. No looking back. No looking back. Trusting what's ahead. Having faith. And knowing, even in the darkness, even when you can't logically make sense of something, even when something's had the hardest grip, the hardest hold on you, it's losing its power. It cannot beat the power of your truck. And so at 3, 2, 1, 0, shift into gear and head on out into the future driving. How good does it feel to be unstuck? God, it just feels so free, like the biggest elephant foot in the world is lifted off of your chest. Don't look back. Flip that rear view mirror up. Like bright headlights are in your way, but though they aren't in your way from your past, if they are, they're only shining on the present and the future forward. Now let's talk about the present. Relish in this moment of freedom. Ground down into that energy. Now let the image of the truck slowly begin to fade into the background. It's there, it's just fading into the background. Now bring that tree back in. Becoming one with the tree. The truck is parked by the tree. You can hop in it later if you want. Being in the tree. Standing tall, standing proud, standing firm. Coming up with one main goal, 2 sub-goals, doing your affirmations, doing your journaling, and each and every day, resistance to positive change decreases and negatives are dissipated and vented out in early morning positive dreams. Each and every day, resistance to positive change decreases and negatives are dissipated and vented out in early morning positive dreams. Again, each and every day, resistance to positive change decreases and negatives are dissipated and vented out in early morning positive dreams. Now, look up into the tree, reaching out the branches into the sunlight. Up at the top of the tree, you notice a beautiful eagle has landed. Because you feel so grounded and secure and stable in this very moment. That the eagle wanted to be in your energy. And that's how it works when you're healing and you're glowing and you're radiating out into the world. You magnetize and attract everything to you that you wish. But sometimes we magnetize and attract positive, beautiful things like this eagle who wants to be a part of this experience and soar with you. And sometimes we attract negativity, but it bounces right off of you because you've been working on your solar plexus and your lower bottom chakras. And so now we're going to cultivate. We're going to cultivate all that beautiful, cleansed, healed energy that we now have in those lower chakras, the root chakra, the sacral chakra onto the solar plexus. Now bring it up with you. Bring it up into the heart and bring it up into the throat, and then bring it up into the third eye, into the crown. And now just shoot that golden light energy out into the heavens. And then that energy radiates, and that eagle catches that wave of energy that you're sending out, that beautiful frequency. We all have it. Everything has a frequency in nature. And it rides the wind of that wave of frequency. And it spreads its wings, and it soars through that beautiful blue sky. And that's you. The energy of that eagle beautifully soaring in the sky is you. Feel the wind in your face. Feel the coolness of just the nature. Feel the warmth of the sun. And as you soar into the new year, remember to write your goals down. 1 main goal, 2 or 3 sub goals. Remember to make a 5 or 10-year plan. Remember to be kind and loving and graceful with yourself. For you are loved and loving. And you are ascending. And you are aligning with what you see for yourself and stepping in to that true authenticity of knowing yourself, knowing your worth, and being so happy with what you see and feel about yourself, that it will never matter what anybody else thinks. For you know who you are. And so now, healing yourself, I want you to let all other images fade into the background. And now bring forth the image of the world. And I want you just to imagine the world like a small little ball out in front of you. And now I want you to see the universe as a much, much, much bigger ball out in front of you. Now I want you to take the world, that little ball in front of you. I want you to pick it up. I want you to bring it close to your chest, right here by your heart. And give it a little love pat and say, now, now. You are loved, you're loving, you're kind, you are healing. And you just wear that right there. And if you want to keep the world right there by your heart and continuously healing you, healing the world, having that relationship, that connection to the whole entire world, we'll just shrink it down even smaller. Turn it into a little pin. Pin it right there on your shirt or whatever you're wearing. And just keep it right there. And you can walk around, rather with the world on your shoulder, instead, the world in your heart that's full of compassion and grace and understanding. Of every other living thing on this planet. Nature, animals, humans, being all connected, dropping the ego, and soaring into the new year, just like you knew you could. And if you didn't know you could, I did. And so now, with all of that beauty, let's let all of the images begin to fade. And I'm going to begin to count you up and out of the hypnosis. And I'm going to count from 0 to 5. When I reach 5, your eyes will be wide awake and open. And so we always, always, always reinforce the good, the positive, and the true of each experience, knowing anything is possible in hypnosis at 0. And now at 1, with a cleansing inhale and release. 2, becoming aware of where you place yourself, the room you're in, starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. 3, a renewed, rejuvenated, energized, magnetized, ascended, aligned, calibrated you. All of that goodness going all around and all through you in all directions, filling that yellow bubble forever and ever. And 4, becoming a little bit more alert. And now 5, eyes open, wide awake and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake and alert. Okay, so if that was your first time being hypnotized, I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so if that was your first time to be hypnotized, I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, this is a collective channel, and so anything that did not resonate, just leave it or disregard it, leave the rest is what I meant to say. If you do want to ever work one-on-one with me, my website is down below. You can call to or text or email to schedule a 15-minute free consultation, and we can make a plan for you, and that way the hypnosis is curtailed just to you. My one-on-one sessions are way deeper because I do testing to see exactly what your suggestibility is, so everything is curtailed just to you and whatever you're going through. And so with all that being said, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. I wish so much happiness and blessings for you in this year, and I hope to see you again very soon.